My good friend Jack Penny has made his life's work out of chasing giant northern pike on the North American continent. So what do you do when Jack says, this is one of my favorite pike fisheries for big fish and lots of them? You go. So that's why we're here. We're at Lac La Marte Lodge on Lac La Marte Lake. It's an awesome pike fishery, and it's a tremendous place for a father and son trip. Big pike, lots of them. So I told my dad to wear his very best.
And we'll show you the next bite.
125 miles yet north of the Northwest Territories capital of Yellowknife, an abundant lake trout destination, Lac La Marte is indeed a very special fishery. It also features some extraordinary sight fishing opportunities for monster northern pike.
Well, let's go get them, Deb.
Okay.
Thanks to its crystal clear waters, which gives our crew a front seat to some pretty amazing views.
Oh, there. A little one.
But even if the constant action proves challenging to keep up with at first.
Oh, dude. If we would have had that camera over the side of the boat.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Was that awesome? Boy, you want to talk about a in-your-face strike.
But Esox expert Pete Maina soon gets his wish as one of our cameras captures a northern pike murdering his spinnerbait, faithfully demonstrating why pike are some of the hardest hitting fish in fresh water.
That's a dandy. Wow.
Of course, sometimes, even in lieu of all this visible action,
Get him back. Yeah, just the power of that fish when it hit. And he's out of there.
it's what we cannot see that can often be even more exciting.
That one actually jumped out of the water.
You aren't kidding. Now you get a fish that big and someone's trying to eat it.
Wonder what that was.
There's scary stuff out there. You never know what you're going to see in the rearview mirror around here.
And while these populations of pike are for the most part largely uneducated, the extremely cold water and shorter growing season means an overall slower growth pattern. But thanks to the protective efforts of Lac La Marte Adventures, allowing 100 fishermen or less annually to visit these pristine waters and promoting a catch and release system combined with the Northwest Territories barbless hook enforcement.
Yeah. Look at him laying there. That's
Isn't that cool? Gotta pinch the barbs.
These pike are continuing to be both abundant and reaching for their full potential when it comes to size.
Well, there he is.
Yeah.
What a battle.
A little worse for wear, huh?
Yeah, he's a little embarrassed, but
That'll fix you.
this body of water up here is huge, and a lot of these pike waters are. And the other thing that occurs, especially when you're fishing here right after ice out like we are, you're in these spawning areas. Because the lake's big, the spawning areas are also big. There's some pretty massive areas right here. In fact, where we are right now is pretty intimidating. Lots of water. Part of the reason we come here is because there's a lot of fish in this water. They're fairly uneducated, but of course you want to catch the bigger ones. So one thing that you really want to do is concentrate on patterning where those big fish are in a couple of ways. First thing, just notice wherever you start bumping into big fish, where there's one, there's usually more. Pay attention to that and remember that spot for later should you come back. And then the other thing you start wanting to do is kind of try and pattern where these bigger fish are, maybe structurally. It could be a lot of different things. It might be lily pads, could be weeds, could be drop-offs. Generally, those bigger fish are going to be associated to some type of a drop-off situation. But again, possibly rock, possibly real dark mud. Sometimes you'll get way in the back of some of these bays and the fish will actually be relating, those bigger fish will be relating to the darkest mud you might find in a bay. So that's the basics of it. Pattern a big fish spot for coming back later in that particular bay because there's probably going to be big fish there again, and also try and pattern the type of structure and water depth that's drawing those bigger fish in a massive bay like this.
The next bite is presented by Mercury, Amsoil, the first in synthetics, Tracker Boats, fish the finest, Bass Pro Shops, your adventure starts here, Berkeley, catch more fish, and Motor Guide, never stop.